All right, welcome back to Module 8, where we're mastering the art of decision-making and background screening. Now, in Lesson 1, we built a decision matrix to guide fair, consistent calls. Today, we're going deeper with a game-changing concept we pioneered at my company called context screening. This isn't just about reading a report. It's about hearing the story behind it. Now, we're going to tell some powerful stories here and unpack this idea and make you the pro who finds talent where others see only risk. All right, this one's going to hit hard, maybe in your heart and the head. Context screening is for anyone with a non-blank background report. A hit, a record, something that raises a flag. But it's about looking beyond accurate data to understand the person. All right, let me tell you a story to bring this home. Picture you and I, we've told this story before in this Friday night, out at a bar, we're doing it again. We're having fun, but things get dumb. A fight breaks out. Cops show up and bam, we're both charged with assault, both convicted. On paper, we're the same. Ken Monroe, assault conviction. You, assault conviction. Now fast forward 5 years. You served your probation. You did community service. You took anger management classes, got a steady job, and quit drinking. That night literally changed your life for the better. Me? I'm still hitting the same bars, still a hothead, just as likely to throw a punch. Our background reports? Identical. Accurate to a T. But in reality, you and I would be worlds apart because context matters. And it could be the key to finding great talent. Here's why this is huge. The background screening industry is obsessed with accuracy, and I get it, I am too. We want to get the names, dates, charges all correct, and that's critical. But accuracy alone misses the human story. You with your assault conviction showed resilience, accountability, grit, humility. Now, those are game-changing traits for an employee. As a CEO, I value those. Without context, a report just says assault. And most HR teams stop right there. My experience reading thousands of applicant responses, folks explaining the records, blows me away. Some blame the lawyer. Some justify their crime, really. But others, they tell you what they've done since. The classes, the sobriety, the steady work. That context is gold. It's not just compliance. It's literally a chance to hire better. A retail client got a report on an applicant with a 7-year-old misdemeanor theft conviction. All right, their matrix flagged it as a risk. Property crime. Semi-recent. Many retailers will not tolerate theft crimes when they're hiring. They were ready to pass, but their HR lead, trained in context screening, asked the applicant to share a story. He explained, hey, at 21, he stole tools from a shop to feed his family. He got probation, and then he turned his life around. He earned a trade certification. He worked 5 years without a blemish, and now mentors at-risk youth. He was trying to get with a larger employer to get better benefits and potential career opportunities. That context, it showed grit, growth, and they hired him. And he's now one of their top employees. Without context screening, they'd have lost a star because the report was accurate. And that's the power of digging deeper. Now, context screening isn't a second chance program. Those are great, and they're often focused on long-term incarcerated people. But that's different. Most people with records weren't locked up for years, if at all. They're everyday people with a misdemeanor or an old felony trying to move forward. Context screening meets the EEOC's guidance. Back from Module 5, we talked about that. And that guidance requires an individualized assessment for criminal records, taking into account the nature, time, job fit. So it's about fairness, not ignoring your matrix. Some say, well, we treat everyone the same process. But identical reports don't mean identical people. Adding context gives you nuance to make smarter calls. And I have seen it work. 13% of applicants who'd have been denied for an accurate record got hired because their story showed they'd done the work. And that's talent you don't want to miss. So how do you embrace context screening like a pro? All right, so here's a game plan for how you get it done. Build context into your matrix. Lesson one's factors: severity, crime type, job type, all good, but add a step, and that is ask for their story. Right? Second, create safe spaces. Invite applicants to explain their record, like through a written response or an interview without judgment. Right? And then look for growth. Seek signs of resilience, accountability, or grit, traits that make a great employee. Right? Stay compliant. Ensure your questions meet EOC's individualized assessment rules. Again, nature, time, job relevance. And then lastly is train your team. Teach HR to value context, not just accuracy, so they don't auto-reject great talent. All right, so this is it. Context screening turns accurate reports into stories of growth and grit. And don't let a check-the-box mindset cost you talent or fairness. Ask the tough questions, hear the context, and hire smarter. All right, that's Module 8, Lesson 2. Next, we're diving into disputes.